Welcome to the In Season podcast, rated R for language.
None of us are doctors or neurologists. The things you're about to hear are opinions of people living with epilepsy or seizures. These are firsthand experiences. Epilepsy can cause speech problems, and the medications are hard to pronounce. So please bear with me.
Epilepsy can cause bad memory, so some stories will be repeated. I'm Pookie. Get ready.
I do have a post here, you guys. It says, I need to ask. I really need your opinions if anyone has an experience with phenytoin and Topamax. I have an appointment soon to discuss this option, and my doctor and I want to know your feedback. Thank you. Phenytoin sodium, that was Dilantin. It was cool. It's one of the oldest drugs I've heard. I don't want to try it again. I guess it was cool. I think I was taking like 3 times a day, and I was in high school. So I could say it kind of worked because I only had 2 seizures in high school after having epilepsy. I mean, after being diagnosed, I didn't have any more seizures at school. I got 2. I got diagnosed. They gave me phenytoin, and the rest of my seizures were either on the streets with friends or at home. But it helped. I would say for the morning, I guess, because I took it in the morning before school. And then, yeah, it was good throughout the day. But that 3 times a day, I felt like was a lot. Sometimes I'm not home 3 times a day, or now I got to keep the pills on me. Yeah, stop complaining.
Taking meds 3 times a day is a no for me. It's hard enough to, 12, I don't even do 12 hours a day anymore because I felt like I was just, if I try to take them 12 hours apart, then I kept forgetting. Felt like it got too late, and I just wasn't in the right place. I wasn't even listening to the reminder. So even now, I only take my meds up like closer to 9 or 10 hours apart. It works.
Or you don't have like a designated time?
But the reminder goes off at 9 and 7, like 9 in the morning and 7 at night. If it's a night where I'm just not going to sleep, then the sun comes up, I'll take the meds before I take the dog out. So, if I need to take the meds before I get to doing something, then that's the only time I'll really switch it up. But it's usually within like 2 or 3 hours of 9 and 7.
Anyone take Dilantin or Topamax? Yeah, that's what they're looking for advice for is, yeah.
Yeah, I take Topamax. I've been taking it so long now that I can't really tell, but they say it slows down your cognitive ability. The
Dopamine.
yeah, Dopamax, right? That's the nickname for it. Is it really? That's the main and worst effect of it is, yeah, it really just it's a big problem for your brain and speech. It's a big speech impediment. So that's what you need to consider.
Yeah, the first comment here says Topamax was a great drug for me. Worked well for 7 years, no issues. Then the dose got too high, and I switched to another. Dilantin didn't work well for me, made me irritable, and had to really work at not snapping on people. Kind of like Keppra, just realize everyone is different, and the meds will hit you differently. Another one says they kind of miss each other. And finding my cocktail that works, Topamax was great for me. I was on it for 7 years by itself. Then doctors suggested finding a new med because of the long-term effects like kidney damage. Dilantin was a few years later after Vinpat and Lamictal. Like I said, it's different for everyone, and you kind of got to find your own cocktail that works. First meds, new meds.
Kind of feeding off of that one, this person's asking how to balance side effects. What kind of supplements are you guys taking to help balance out the side effects of the meds? Number one, with plenty of replies and upvotes, is cannabis. poor appetite, insomnia, anxiety, and focus, not a side effect, but cannabis makes me a social, outgoing person. I was an introverted shut-in. Marijuana has been a godsend. This is the way. Yeah, so that is definitely the number one. For nausea, some people take nausea pills and just leave the headaches alone. If it bothers me, I'd have to take painkillers. But in the past, I was faced with ataxia. I stopped treatment immediately and suddenly. Weight loss, hypoglycemia. In this case, wore a sensor, and when blood sugar levels dropped severely, took glucose pills. Yeah, maybe some people really are just more prone to side effects. This one sounds like they had a rough time. Oh, coffee and cannabis is another one. They say exercise, good sleep, healthy eating habits. I eat mainly locally sourced meat, eggs, cheese, and fruit. So, yeah, what do you think about side effects?
Read the question again. I had an answer, but I forgot what the question was.
What do you supplement to balance out the side effects of the meds?
B12, shout out to Nature's Made. It totally stopped the focals, like to a halt. Like I left them around the corner, like they're just not here anymore. Yeah, so there's that. And then forgot what else I was gonna say. Oh, yeah. Any other side effects? Only other side effects I really got was yeah, only real side effects I got was insomnia. I didn't have any other than the side effects of the fatigue. That shout out to Nature's Made. The B12 would give you a little more energy. I'd say do that and knock away some of that fatigue. Yeah, it's very helpful in that department. But any other supplements I have not tried yet. I'm going to try the COQ10 by Nature's Made gummies. Shout out to Nature's Made again. I heard they're pretty good, and I forgot what it was for again, but Raven said it earlier. I'm going to take it just because.
Brain fog now.
There we go.
I'm gonna try them too.
Yeah. For the brain fog, I don't have much brain fog, but I say a lot or I don't know if that's brain fog. I say before every answer.
Is that the COQ 12, 10 or 12?
COQ10. Raven said it's good for brain fog.
Yeah, I was going to get some of that recently, and I just didn't for some stupid reason. I forgot or something.
Yeah, I was thinking of getting some. I don't know. I don't really have too much brain fog. I mean, depends on what you call brain fog, because like I said, I say a lot, so I don't know if that's confusion or brain fog. Yeah, so I don't get much brain fog, but I would like to try it and see how it helps. Anybody here take pregabalin? It's
I don't
for
think so.
okay, it's for focals. Says anyone here on it or try it? I see really good things about it on different subs for focal seizures. My epileptologist put me on it. It's my 9th or 10th med to try. Anyone ever try it? No, we have not personally. No one here, but there's some responses. It says I have a prescription for it, but for something else, I have a prescription for it, but for something else. I haven't touched it yet. That is interesting considering that I suspect I have focal seizures and the EEG hasn't been able to detect it yet. Another comment says I was on gabapentin, which is a weaker version, made me ultra constipated. I gained 50 pounds and it didn't help at all. Took it like a year. Took it for like a year, a quick one, and then quit. The withdrawals are brutal. Lost all the weight in like 2 months. Some people say they lose weight, and that's a good thing from some meds. And some people say they can't hold on weight, and they're 6 feet tall and 200 pounds and stuff like that. I'm glad I'm Actually, I'm not really keeping on weight. To be 6'2", do you guys think 170 to 180 is a decent weight? I want to get to like 200 and be like a little solid, you know? Maybe put on a little muscle, you know? But
I was gonna say, I think you're technically underweight.
yeah, my ID says what I guessed I might be. So yeah, I guessed I was around 170. And then let's see. Oh, on my ID I put 181. Then I got a paper copy as well.
Anyone with TLE recently struggle with depression in between seizures? I've had to stop taking Lamictal and Keppra. Lamictal really improved my mood. I hadn't realized I'd been depressed all my life. I just thought it was my personality, constantly pissed off and feeling like I could cry, but I hid it well. Feeling awful again now. I have catamenial RTLE, right temporal lobe epilepsy, and PMDD too. So it's some kind of diabetes. You guys know PMDD? Oh,
Post-menstrual something.
premenstrual
think.
dysphoric disorder. Yeah. So that causes emotional and physical symptoms like mood swings, anger, hopelessness, anxiety, fatigue, bloating. And they are debilitating enough to get that diagnosis. So this one definitely is two pretty volatile medications. So the comments, I mean, have we ever taken that combination? I've been on the Keppra, but not Keppra with Lamictal. You guys?
They took me
Andrea?
off Keppra and put me on Lamictal.
Oh, okay. Did you notice one did better than the other for, your moods or the seizures?
Oh yeah, I was an angry, suicidal psycho on Keppra, and that's why they switched me over to the other one.
Lamictal, yeah.
Same here. This donut is delicious. Little donut around here, little donut shop around here. They took me off of Keppra, like Andrea said. They took me off of Keppra, and they put me on. What'd you say? Lamotrigine.
Lamictal.
Generic Lamictal, which is lamotrigine, and I've been taking it for a very long time now. Sometimes I forget. Sometimes it might be 6 years. Sometimes it might be 8. I don't know. Might be 10.
I'm still taking it along with everything else.
Yeah, like you said, it changed you or whatever. Yeah, it took me. Yeah, like you said, it took you out of those psycho stages. Yeah, I didn't have that afterwards. I was pretty much a little less emotional because I think I was so emotional that I think the anger was the bad part of the emotional. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it was just awful. Everything was horrible.
Yeah. It's like there's no good in this life anymore. It was the only one I thought about walking into traffic. So I mean, when you think about bad stuff like jumping off of cliffs and stuff like that, then
And those kinds
My
of feelings
partner
didn't. Go ahead.
My partner came home for lunch one day and I handed him the gun and all the bullets in the house. And I said, "You need to take this to my dad's gun safe right now
Okay, so
because it's
you
not safe to
used
have in the
any.
house."
Good
Right.
move, Andrea.
Yeah.
Definitely. So these feelings didn't come, precede seizures. It was and
It was
all
just all
day,
the
every
time.
day.
yeah, it was all the time.
I was screaming at grocery cashiers.
Well, you ask for 20 cash back. Don't look like a 20.
And she rung up my grocery wrong.
Oh, she had it coming. You got 2 for 1. You better get your 2 for 1.
She didn't do anything wrong. I just thought she did. That's the
Oh,
problem. I was just,
okay.
I think she was training too.
Like it's not you, it's me.
Right.
You're her most
Totally
valuable
not you.
training.
I'm gonna yell, but don't take it seriously. It's me, it's not you.
Oh, the manager came over and everything. It was a good time.
So yeah, somebody else is saying I have intractable bilateral TLE, and thought it's never been diagnosed as catamenial. My epileptologist recognizes the increase in activity and increased my medication around my menses. Has anybody ever had to take more medication at certain weeks of the month? It's
I
never been like
haven't.
that for me. No, I've never heard of that before. So maybe that's what these epileptologists are so proud of, just making shit more confusing. I used to be so positive about my life, and now I find myself being so negative, rarely truly happy. I feel alone. Good luck. Try to smile today. Wow. And that's the comment on the post asking, do you struggle with depression in between seizures? Okay. So the less medication, the better is what I got out of that one. This post is titled Deflated. Had an appointment with a mental health and well-being coach to talk about my seizures. After an hour and a half, 60% them talking, I came away feeling deflated and even more isolated by the experience. So this was with a mental health and well-being coach to talk about seizures. Totally didn't serve a purpose. Okay, it's not that they weren't trying to be helpful. They were very enthusiastic. I just don't feel like they got it. I don't think anyone can unless you live it. They said they wanted to inject me with confidence so many times that it became annoying, mainly because they thought that was a big barrier. My seizures are random outside of obvious triggers. I can walk around with not a care, and one will happen. It doesn't matter how much confidence I do or don't have. What I need is assurance, and that's something no one can give me, even with the meds. I understand this, and that's what I need help mentally coping with. Being told to own it and be unapologetic if I have a seizure in public is one thing I need to work on, I will say, but I'm more bothered about being a danger to myself and others. My last public seizure was crossing the road, and last indoor tonic-clonic, I cracked my head off the corner of a unit and fell down the stairs. It doesn't feel like that is something confidence can fix. And the more I think about it, the more insulted I feel by it. It feels like the mental health around having epilepsy just isn't understood enough, in my opinion. And I hate to say this, but their younger age made their optimism and advice seem naive. They did say they looked up about epilepsy to better understand it. I'll give them that. Just needed to purge my pity party. Can't help pessimistically going along with through the motions sometimes because I'm so tired with the loneliness epilepsy brings. Okay, so nobody's ever recommended me to a mental health or well-being coach. They were so much quicker to try to put, just prescribe another antidepressant or something. But I don't think I ever really went to the doctor with that intention. But I did say, I feel slow. I didn't feel happy at, something that I think I should have been happy at. But then they just switched the meds or add another one. Nobody ever made a referral to like a happy specialist. What about you guys?
Yes, they have referred me to mental health people.
So did you
And
get that inject you with confidence line?
not really. And I didn't really get that feeling. They just said uh I don't know, it was quite the quite a route of people. At first they said, you're at risk for depression. And then they said, you should go somewhere. I said, where should I go? He said, that's on you. You find the person. Okay. So then I looked someone up and then they said, we can't help you here. We're not the right people for you. And I had to find another person. And I went back to the place where I was originally got that. I don't know. Because the place I went to was for people who were really, really messed up. And no offense to them, but um, he was just a counselor. I needed a psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist. It's just a long story, and oh my, these people. Um, yeah, and they all suggest the same thing, medicine. I didn't want to take more. I want more behavior therapy as opposed to medicine, but I don't know. It does seem like they don't really understand.
So you think the OP kind of hit the nail on the head with just saying, between their age and their overly optimistic, enthusiastic vibe, that it just definitely didn't get them happier. Said they
I
came
don't know.
across as naive. Their advice seemed naive, and they didn't understand epilepsy. So that sounded like the downfall
I
to me.
think there is. I think there's definitely uh, definitely a chasm between understanding this particular disorder and yeah, uh, uh, they don't know what makes this particular disorder uh, unique, and what makes this, what links this to uh,
Certain symptoms for certain people and things like that.
yeah, because like I said, it's an invisible disability, and he, because it's disabling in so many factors in life. You can't drive, you can't participate in uh, things in life. You cannot be one of your fellow uh, uh, you can't drink
Peers.
or anything. You can't take
Yeah.
part in so many things in life, and it's just so disabling and degrading and
Oh, Andrea said
humiliating.
take a bath.
Yeah, yeah, and these there's just hundreds or thousands of things you cannot do. That you just don't feel like a normal human being, and these people just do not understand this, and and they just want to throw a pill at you and say feel better. What the psychiatrists do, and they just assume you're sad like everyone else. Well, they just don't know why you're sad, and it's because of, I don't know.
No, I mean that kind of lines up with this first comment here. Andrea, what do you think about that? Have you ever been advised to seek out a therapist or some kind of life coach?
I got food in my mouth. Hold on.
Best
I'm in
time.
therapy, so
Okay.
yes, but I totally understand what you're saying, Kevin, because I'm constantly hearing stuff from my therapist that's the you got to get out, you got to do this, you got to think more, positive, or have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? And it's like that's completely unrealistic for my situation,
Mm.
whether it be physically unrealistic or financially unrealistic, whatever it may be. There's in some way she just thinks that it's some simple workaround that I can snap my fingers and make it happen, but she doesn't realize I have to call my children or my mommy if I need to go to the grocery store. And I'm almost 48 years old.
Yeah, these
Right.
quick fixes are not reality. What do you think, Jeff?
I guess my perspective, like usual, is different because of my age. Uh, I don't, I mean, yeah, sure, I had much more freedom when I was driving, and I can still drive if I really wanted to. I haven't been told not to, um, although I don't want to. I don't want to take the chance of hurting someone or killing someone, and I don't understand why that's not more prevalent. That people are, and I guess I could almost understand that in somebody that's younger because they haven't had the lifetime of freedom that I had. Uh, but still, I mean, to me, you should make the most of it out of every day and not sit around and be depressed or feel, you know, sad. If you feel sad, you're going to be sad. And if you feel happy, you're going to be happy. It's really simple. And you know, I had a therapist when I was in California, and when I came back to PA, I had another therapist. And a couple of weeks ago, I said to her, I don't need therapy anymore because I get all the therapy I need on Tuesdays and Fridays. And she thought that was great. Uh, as the buzzer is going off for the EMU as I'm saying that.
You are still the most well-rounded individual that any of us have ever met. I promise. You are the mentor. Hands down.
Thank you. But I mean, seriously, I got depressed over this. And then one day I said, fuck this. What am I depressed about? If I'm depressed, I'm gonna be depressed.
Just be happy.
Yeah. Don't worry, be happy. And since then I just make the most out of every day. And if I
Hey
don't feel
Jeff,
good,
did
I
we
don't
ask
feel
you
good.
did we ask you if you had a chance, what fictional character would you like to meet?
Would I like to meet?
Either meet or be.
Uh,
We've answered both.
I think I would like to be Bosch from uh, the Bosch series, and I'm trying to remember who the author is now. Uh, I would like to be him, or else the head of Israeli Secret Service, Gabriel Alam, who's another one of my.
Okay.
Those are my two favorite characters. Uh, I can't remember the authors. Uh, so I would like to be either one of those. Bosch is a really cool cop. Uh, and Gabriel Alon is a stone killer, but he's a nice guy.
Okay.
I think I want to partially change my answer. Jeff, mine was Borny because Borny was a big part of my childhood, especially when I got hit by the car and I couldn't go, I couldn't walk. I believe we went to a Borny on Ice thing and it was cool. I had a little stuffed animal and I lost it. And well, I grew up, I could say. I didn't lose it. I grew up. I don't know where it is. But yeah, that'll be so cool. Just like Borny was like my child therapist, kept me excited. Like something's coming on today. We're doing something today. Then he's all excited. He's all jolly with all the kids and stuff. And yeah, I remember he sings songs. He's like dancing and stuff. Big purple dinosaur. Yeah, that was a decent part of my childhood. But if I could be someone else, I just thought of it. I'd be is it Brian O'Connor? You guys know who that is? Brian O'Connor from Fast and the Furious.
Ah,
Okay.
I know who it is.
Yeah.
Well, if you say Vin Diesel or Paul Walker, that might make more sense.
Well, the character, his name was.
But yeah, it has to be a fictional character. You're right.
I don't want to be him because he's dead. I mean, he's not necessarily a fictional character. He's him.
Yeah,
Um,
forget I said it.
yeah.
I'm just trying to see if Prime will let us watch Bosch for free.
Mm.
Yeah,
Well, if we get to change our answers, because I want to be Letty then, because I want to be able
Ah,
to drive like that.
yeah, that's what I
Letty
was
is
thinking.
hot.
Driving and sliding around corners. I tried it.
Yeah,
Uh,
she's
it was
hot
pretty
too.
fun.
All right,
I
maybe
don't
we'll
know how
watch
they do
sci-fi
it.
this weekend. It's action tonight.
I tried to do some drifting. Uh, it kind of worked, except I just kind of skidded instead of drifting. Because I came to a full halt. I know how they just like keep going and slide and slide. I was on the brakes. I didn't know how to do it. I was like,
All right, well,
stop.
you didn't flip. Oh,
No, I didn't.
that's the best we can hope for.
But I swung around and it was like, oh, everybody was like, what are you doing? Like, oh, I'm trying to do some Fast and the Furious. Like, please don't do that with me in the car.
You think?
Yeah.
All right, so the comments about the therapist. The first one saying that it sounds like you just didn't click with the therapist. Seek another one who has a history in therapy for chronic illness and depression. I went to a psychiatrist because he had neurology training and therefore at least probably had treated epileptics while getting his MD. And welcome back, Josh.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good.
All right.
More of the comments agree. OP is saying, yeah, you're probably right. I just didn't click. I'll ask to explore this avenue next time. Hope it works. Haven't seen a therapist in a long time. This is another comment saying I moved away, didn't seek out a new one. I didn't get better for a long time. Honestly, I got worse. The best thing for me has been getting the right AED. It's totally changed me in positive ways. Wish you all the best. So, yeah, some people really do just blame it all on the meds. A lot of reassurance about it's not your fault. It's understandable to be hopeful, but unless they have experienced epilepsy themselves or someone close to them to see what it is, they will not ever understand. The only possible source from a mental health counselor standpoint is one, finding someone who specializes in dealing with individuals who have serious life affecting illnesses like cancer, and of course, types of epilepsy. You need someone who does not have to research epilepsy in order to learn about it. Your needs are so far ahead of your capabilities or of their capabilities. And yeah, that's well said. That's definitely somebody you can tell has been in this position too. So yeah, I'll stick with Tuesdays and Fridays.
Yeah. See a therapist. That's what I suggest. Someone you can talk to would be good too. Maybe like your wife or something. Or is it a woman? A woman marry women. So yeah, if it's your wife or husband, find someone to talk to. You don't need a therapist every time.
Username
They
is
are
Danish
pretty
Belch.
good,
So yeah, I don't
but
know.
they're pretty
Good
costly.
listener. You can find yourself a good listener.
There you go. I got Kate. So I got a post here. It says, "Shout out to Nature's Maid." It's not what it says, but
shout out to Nature's Mate.
the post says, "I think I had a seizure. Last night I was outside in the bar with my friend, only had 2 or 3 drinks, and suddenly I blacked out, fell into my friend and woke up to my head and neck tremoring and was super dizzy. I couldn't talk or move other than nodding, and other than the nodding of my head and neck that I couldn't control. I was super confused and shaky for a few minutes after. Was it a seizure? Should I go to the doctor?" First one, yes, go to the doctor because you don't know exactly what it is. And you had 2 or 3 drinks, so it could be a lot. But a seizure could be that. You didn't say if you had epilepsy or not, but yeah, go see a doctor. It possibly could be a seizure. Just don't assume it's a seizure because they're not taking your word for it these days. They want to put you in the EMU and all that stuff just to prove you have epilepsy. But so far that does sound something like a seizure, especially because wait, the neck tremoring when you woke up, that part I didn't understand. I haven't had neck tremoring. I never woke up to the tremoring. So
That
but
could be something from shock.
hmm. then the super dizzy part, I have woke up super dizzy, and always the paramedics were like, lay down, you got this, you're falling over and stuff like that. So yes,
You
you
guys
should go
ever
see a
come to
doctor.
with like eye twitches? Not even positive that you had a seizure, but for some reason your eye twitches a little bit in the morning or after waking up.
No, but now that you say that, I was talking to this girl, and she was telling me that I was having facial jerking or like twitching when I first met her, and she was like, "That's what I thought was weird." And she said, "I thought it was weird, and you never brought it up. You just continued the date." And I was like, "I didn't know it was going on." But yeah, it was like maybe a few months ago. And I was like, "I haven't seen you in like 3 years. But you're just not gonna tell me that my face was twitching, and that's why you don't talk to me anymore." Uh, but yeah, facial twitches can be a seizure, and I think that's what I was having. And when she explained it, I was like, I kind of told her that sounds like a seizure, and being that I don't remember, it's also very possible that that was a seizure. Um,
I think when it happened to me, that was 2 weeks after splitting the pills. So that's what I'm gonna blame it on. Hasn't happened, and since then. Oh
um,
yeah, I should have wrote it down.
yeah, I think that could have been a seizure, and I forgot to point out that story because we have talked a lot about stuff like that recently. But I can relate to anyone who's been through the face jerking, not the lips and the eyes and all that. But yeah, not that I remember it. She said my face, it looked like I was going like this. She said, like winking. She referred to it as you look like you were winking hard. So I'm assuming I was going like this. So, yeah, there's that.
A couple days ago, somebody posted, "Is it hard to make friends?" I don't know if it's hard to make friends or I'm just too shy. I don't know if it has anything to do with epilepsy. And that was it. So this is just a question for some advice. One of the popular comments here is, "I'm not really going to answer your question, but I think making friends can be really difficult because medications can make you tired or depressed. But one of the main reasons is that epilepsy can affect your confidence." They put asterisks around that. Friendships are hard to maintain, and it's even harder when you have a condition and take medicine that makes you feel sick. For me, it used to be difficult to make friends or even leave the house, including going to school, so I hardly had any friends. Now I feel more comfortable with my epilepsy, my medications, become a completely new person, much more outgoing, and it's easier to talk to people and make friends.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not
and then
hard to make friends. I'm really good at making friends and talking to people, and um, but to keep friends around, that's the harder part. To keep them around once I've had seizures in front of them, that's a different story depending on their life. Like I have friends that I still call friends, but they have their own lives. They have children and stuff like that and stuff now.
Andrea said it best. They just
Yeah,
need to come hang out with us.
yeah. I wish I could have a friend come join us. He watches my podcast, and he's like, "Yeah, that's really cool." But like I said, I don't
Come
have
on
like
over.
a huge crowd of friends besides you guys. You guys damn near feel like family. So you guys know things that my family doesn't even know, which is odd when you say it, but it's easier to open up to people who understand it than talking to someone and they're like,
But
it's
it's
not
so much
like,
more reassuring to know that nobody here is going to focus on those facts and let it define you. We
I
might
don't
not
want to
even
talk to
fucking
someone who
remember.
looks like I'm telling them about a sci-fi movie. Um,
Yeah.
You're not gonna treat me like my mom.
right.
Thank you.
Or that, or it just seems like you're just talking to somebody about your problems rather than just trying to have dialogue.
They either look like they're in awe or they're looking like, you
They're
gotta be
planning an
kidding.
escape. Yeah.
You gotta be kidding me. That doesn't sound true.
Mhm.
It sounds like a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once they don't look like they're paying attention or their jaw drops like they're just so confused. Yeah. Yeah, my friend, I don't know. I think I kind of ghost people too. When I feel like you just don't want to be a friend, I'm able to just be like, all right, then you don't want to be a friend. But I did hear the thing that you said earlier, Kate, about it could uh, mess with your confidence as the medication or whatever the case. But one of the side effects of lamotrigine is boosting confidence. I read that. It was Google.
It boosts it?
Boosting
I thought
confidence.
that was
Really?
libido.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Libido.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Might as well just call it the
Hey,
same
babe, you
thing.
hear that? Lamotrigine boosts libido.
I don't provide medical advice. I'm not
And
licensed at
confidence.
anything.
I'm gonna hit that on the wiki.
And yeah, and it boosts your confidence. So yeah. There
I
was
think I
a
have like a pretty
Oh.
decent confidence. I think it comes in waves. I think most of the stuff that hits from that, it's more like in the post-ictal phase, and I think that's where it makes it. I think it's like a two-way street with the confidence, especially when it comes with epilepsy too. Because when the post-ictal phase hits, depending on how long it lasts, it makes you seclude yourself as well.
yeah.
But
Mhm.
that's a survival response. I mean, think about how
Mhm.
easy it is to get used during that post-ictal phase. Anybody around you could get over so easy.
Mhm.
And a lot of the comments here are good indications of that, saying, I know the feelings with my epilepsy is I've only made friends who use me.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
especially when you're uncontrolled or switching meds, or it's just that whole
Yeah.
gear of changing,
Mhm.
that's risky to be a
Yes.
social butterfly.
My best friend, he's like the little brother I never had. We were really good friends. I still say we are really good friends, except it's like people think you ghost them because you're not on social media. I'm like, I didn't ghost you. Ghosting you would like be like blocking you and not answering your messages. I don't even go to the app anymore, so not seeing you post stuff on Instagram and your life getting better and all that stuff doesn't mean I know that because social media, and that's what people expect you to be like really active in the social media. Like I don't know what people's
Mhm.
birthdays are. And
Expectations, yeah.
people are
Yeah.
like, you didn't wish me happy birthday. And I'm like, I don't know your birthday. I've never known your birthday.
Mhm.
There is 500 people that follow you that know your birthday because it reminds them.
Yeah, that's a big problem I have too, because I don't have like TikTok, Snapchat, Instagram. I mean, I have Facebook so I can keep in touch with family that's everywhere.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't have any of that social media stuff.
Yeah. And my Instagrams, they are dull until every now and then I post a picture, maybe twice a year.
Mhm.
But other than that, like knowing people's birthdays and stuff who feel like we're social media friends for the last 20 years or some shit. Yeah. They think, oh, you're not really a friend. You didn't call me. You didn't message me when my birthday was this day. Well, I didn't know. You should have told me 20 years ago.
You call me on my birthday?
Right.
I mean,
Yeah,
this
my
one
best
sums it
friend.
up kind of
Last time
similar
I
to what
talked to my best friend, he called me and borrowed some money. I haven't heard from him since. And I gave him the money. So, yeah.
Where's
And I
my
did say
Starbucks
borrow.
gift card?
He said, I get paid in a week. Can I borrow this? I needed some money to get to work. I'm sure you got to work because, but
he
yeah,
didn't call
it's
back.
pretty easy to get in touch with other people because,
Mhm.
like I said, I didn't really get in touch with him because I didn't have his number for a long time, or the number he had changed or whatever. Last time I seen him was 2019, and then it's been like 3 year periods ever since. But it's been like 6 years since then, and that's all it took is for me to get on social media, and people have like big social media presence. And I was like, "Hey, how you doing? Long time no see." He messaged me back in less than a minute. Literally, I was looking at it, and then you see the little bubbles like the person's typing. I was like, "Oh, okay." So that's how I get in touch with you because obviously text messages and kind of do the bubbles or the let you know. Yeah, I don't know how shit works for other people, but yeah, social media is the easiest way to get in touch with people. Come to find out, but it sucks because you have a phone as well. Um, Some people
I
would
don't know. I
just,
think it's when an iPhone texts an Android, you can't tell if it's been delivered or read.
yeah, no, no,
That's
no.
my theory. I don't know.
No,
Which one?
because I've texted you before and it said red after that. But then I text you on my iPhone and it says red anyway too. So, but on my Android, the messages did say red. And then someone else who told me that they messaged me off an iPhone said that my messages said red. And I was like, I don't even see that on the screen to where it says that you
Oh.
read or whatever the case. But
It's in the settings.
yeah,
Oh, okay. I can never tell if it's how to let that work. But yeah, this friend thing, they're saying that I don't personally find it hard to make friends, but it could be a part of you is worried that people will think you're having epilepsy and being scared to be your friend in case you have a fit in front of them. So deep down, you just try not to make friends. I don't find that it could get that deep unless you've like actually been traumatized about having a seizure in public or literally lost a friend because of it. But that's, I mean, you've got to be able to come to terms with the fact that that was their issue. If somebody can't handle seeing a seizure, that is part of who you are. So they, I mean, the follow-up comment saying they don't deserve to be your friend. Better off
Mhm.
without them.
Yeah. I'm more or less nowadays, like, I stopped getting embarrassed or afraid of having seizures in front of my friends. Now I get more frustrated because I'm afraid somebody's going to call an ambulance and then I got to bail.
Exactly. So the ones who give a shit
I got
will
to give
remember.
everybody
They'll
note
know
cards when
enough
I
to
come over.
remember. Set the
Yeah.
timer. If it goes past 5, get the
Mhm.
nasalam. If it actually goes to 10 minutes, then you can think about calling the ambulance, but like only if I'm
Yeah.
bleeding or something.
Yeah, at that point, but everybody's good guys. And then it's like sometimes it's embarrassing or frustrating, like if you lose your bowels and stuff. But if, if they don't understand that, then I mean, F them.
And you love the day after, even if it wasn't like a bad one, if you do trip or stub your toe on something, somebody comes flying around the corner. Like,
Yeah.
what's the matter? Where are
Nah,
you?
I like sometimes like with one of my buddies, he's really funny. He always gives me crap the day afterwards, but it's always like the drunken walk of shame.
Yep.
But some days are better than others. But yeah, you just gotta learn to look at the light side of those things.
Yeah, you have to.
Mhm.
I
People saying they
haven't
had a rough
learned
time in
that
high
yet.
school.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You got a motor scooter thing.
I've
What is
not
that called
had a
again?
seizure in front of anyone other than my partner who just died. And my mother-in-law, I think I had one in her car, and I think I had one in front of my son, but that's it. Both the one and anyone other than my partner, they were both in cars, so they were driving. It's not like they were, I don't know. But yeah, I've not ever had one around anyone really. I've been by myself, home alone. So venturing out for me is a little scarier than just venturing out.
Yeah, I'm not saying just go venture out and have one and just be like, hey guys, here it is. But
No, I'm still kind of worried about it, but I
yeah,
gotta get
no,
over it.
understandable.
No, I mean you're taking this perfectly. Like smaller increments. Just go to start by going down
Yeah.
the street, then to the park, then to maybe the corner store one of these days. But
Mhm.
give it like
Gotta
a
live.
month in between. If it is the catamenial a thing for you.
No,
Mhm.
Okay, so
never
yeah, it's
know.
not like you even have to wait like a month in between.
So no, I'm gonna go. It's one of those things in the back of my mind.
Always, always. But you
My
have
friend,
your helmet and you gotta.
my friend always tells me he's gonna take me to one of those trampoline parks so I can't get hurt and I'm just gonna bounce everywhere.
I want to
That's
go.
kind of
I've been
rough.
to one. I want to go
Oh,
again.
you did?
Yeah.
I've
Last
heard
Was
one,
it
they're
cool?
fun.
it was for my
Yeah.
son's birthday, so I didn't get to do too much jumping because there were so many kids there too. And the
Yeah.
trampolines, when I was jumping, I just looked like the biggest kid ever. And I'm so tall that it just looked so awkward with me jumping and so many kids around. But
Yeah.
yeah. I just imagine people were like, "Look at this guy, those little kids."
Yeah, the place looked pretty cool though, and then they have like the indoor skydiving too.
Yeah, and they also have the I want to do the rock climbing one. I seen
Mhm.
that. That was pretty cool. They were having like there was people in there with their kids, like 4 years old, that were rock climbing, and I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'm just here to drop off some Uber Eats food." Those kids were like 20 feet high in the air, climbing the wall, and their parents were just looking up at them. And I'm like, "What if this kid drops?"
Oh, we got health insurance.
Right. Hopefully, but it could be rough one. I do have
So
something
making
else
friends
here.
doesn't have to be a problem for us either.
Say that again.
I was just saying, overall, that post tells us that making friends doesn't have to be an issue for us. We just have to work up the courage and go for it. We'll still have those little worries in the back of our mind, but it doesn't slow you down.
Just tell people too, like you don't have to meet people locally in person either. I know people think that they're locked down through that by epilepsy and stuff, but like me and my wife, we met online.
Me and my wife met online too.
Yeah, so it's like it don't feel like you're tied down to where you are. You have the opportunity to let yourself out here. I mean, like think of it right now. There you got like all these people commenting on posting on Reddit. They're out here conversating and making friends and doing all these things. Like, how did we all end up here in the first place? I mean, look what we're doing now.
Me? Just kidding. So yeah, my work wife is Kate. So yeah, we met on Zoom. It's pretty cool.
Oh, okay, there you go. Yeah.
Um,
Sorry if I'm not looking. I'm cooking tacos right now.
It's all right. It looks good.
Don't you know it's dangerous to cook? I got that
Yeah.
lecture at the doctor the other day.
Yeah, my wife's standing right here, so I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm
the
just
thing with
teasing
me,
you.
the thing with me is I think it's I wouldn't say safe for me to cook, but I have such bad memory and attention span that I could be scrambling something and then I'm like, oh, let me get a cup of water. And I get a cup of water, then I'm like, oh, maybe I should go sit down in the room. Then I forget I'm cooking. I go sit down. I start watching TV. Next thing you know, all the water is boiled out of the rice. And yeah.
That's why I
You
try
should stay out of the kitchen.
No,
Yeah.
that's the thing. When you get in the kitchen, you shouldn't leave. I mean,
Yeah.
for that kind of issue.
Yeah.
timers.
But you're not gonna go in
Winder
there and
timer.
fix something to bake and then walk away. So
I can
Yeah.
turn around and forget what I'm doing.
That's what I'm gonna
Oh.
say. When you start cooking, get one of those like little crank winder timers. So then
mm,
if you walk away, it'll buzz off on you.
yeah. I had a friend make fun of me. Well, I wouldn't say he was trying to make fun, but he was trying to be funny about it, like trying to make me laugh too.
Mhm.
He was like, "You're the only person I know that would watch water boil." And I told him, if I don't watch it boil, I'm not gonna come back. I'm gonna come back and there's gonna be no water in the pot. Yeah. But he was amazed when I said it. He was like, "For real? Remember, it's that bad?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's that bad." Yeah, it was.
Can you use the small one? Okay.
I do have a post here. It says, "What do you do when someone has a seizure?" Yesterday, I was watching a child, 13-year-old female with epilepsy, and suddenly she let out an extremely loud scream, began to cry, and her body became rigid. Fortunately, fortunately enough, her mom was nearby and ran to take care of her. She brought her to school. Oh no, she brought her to the ground, and that was when she began to distract the other children nearby. I was told once in passing that she had epilepsy, but in that moment, I was unsure what to do since I, at the time, only knew of her. It was only after I realized what had happened. One thing I am just curious about is if this is normal for someone with epilepsy to scream and cry like this. I previously worked in a school one-on-one with student with seizures, and multiple times I was able to assist her as one was happening. Of course, I know all seizures are not the same, but I am just curious. I would also like to know the best way to assist someone in that moment. I really appreciate anyone who is willing to take time to explain and educate me on this, and thank you. What do you do when someone's having a seizure? One thing you don't do is put a wall in their mouth. Don't do that. You're gonna have a really messed up wallet, first of all. And I forgot the other reason they said don't do it. But the funny answer was don't put the wall in the mouth. It's not a good idea. That's a myth. Yeah. Anyone watching this, you see me having a seizure, don't put your wallet in my mouth. It doesn't help me not bite my tongue. I'd rather bite my tongue than your wallet that's been in your pocket for I don't know how many years.
Yeah,
What do
that's
you
kind of
guys
the first
do?
thing
How
that
do you
comes to
tell this
mind.
person? They want to know, what do they do when they see someone having a seizure? Because they work with a child.
Well, I mean, if they're still up, lead them to the ground, but don't hold tightly onto them. Get some padding under their head, put them onto their side, of course. And then, I mean, you just gotta comfort them and let it ride and time it.
Yeah, time it and help them get to the ground.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard because there's not a whole lot you can do when someone's having a seizure.
Yeah, especially if it's your first time seeing it. I mean, obviously, this isn't the first time seeing it, but they want to know how to
Yeah.
help a
I mean,
person. So,
yeah. I mean, of course, you get medical assistance or get somebody to get medical assistance. But you need to get that person on the ground, get padding under their head and put them on their side and let them ride it, time it, and make sure it's not status epilepticus. And then, yeah.
and another thing, because they said, fortunately, the mother was around. And since you're at a school, one day she's not going to be around. So that'll be a good idea is to ask the mother, what do you think I should do with your child having a seizure?
Yep. Good point.
You could be like, I heard this and I heard I can do this, this, and this. Don't tell her you learned it from Reddit. I don't know how that's going to go. But
Yeah.
you
Did
could
she
be
say
like,
she worked at the school?
yeah, this person said they worked at a school, worked with children.
Okay. Okay.
And I worked on 101 with a child who had epilepsy.
Okay. Did she work at that school with that kid though?
I think so.
This does sound like the kind of dedicated employee that just really wants to receive the training
Yeah.
that's not being made available to her.
That's what I was gonna say. I would get the parents' contact information as well.
Oh yeah, that'd be a big one.
Mhm.
Instead of having to wait on the office and
Yeah,
whatever.
dealing with that. Hmm.
So Josh, now that you settled down,
What's up?
what fictional character, here's the icebreaker. What fictional character would you like to meet
Or B.
or be?
Oh, here we go. I can show it to you right now.
Okay. That activated an accent.
This guy right here.
Oh, what's
His
the name
name
on
is
that one?
Tyler Stern. He is the main character in this book.
Nice. I gotta
Yes.
check it out.
That's actually the new one out of the series. There's 3 books before it. That's the new one that just came out last year.
3 books before that one, so it's not a trilogy anymore?
Not anymore. The
Oh,
last 3 came out when I was probably about 13 or 14. They came
yeah.
out, and my grandma actually introduced me to the book series, and it's about like magic and assassins and stuff like that. And then he just came out with a new one last year.
What's the first one called?
It's called The Night Angel. The first one is called Way of the Shadows.
I have to go look for it.
Mm-hmm. Good. Yeah, if you have trouble like concentrating on reading too, they have it on Audible.
The
Okay,
thing with
there you
me
go.
with reading
Okay.
is it's better. I'm better reading when I'm reading out loud.
Yeah, sometimes I have trouble, like I lose my place a lot, and I
Yeah,
have to go back and back and back. And
yeah. So if I read out loud, I'm pretty good. But reading in my head, like I said, I'll read the same line a few times before I just choose to
Mhm.
tell myself, okay, you have to read out loud. You're trying to do this and you know better.
Yeah. He has another book series called The Black Prism too, if you end up liking that series of books. So check them out.
Yeah, I have checked out audiobooks though. I actually tried to write one too, but um, yeah, those are pretty good. But I do like reading because some things like typing and reading, I feel like they keep me, like if I kept autocorrect on, I might forget how to spell some words. So I turned
Yeah.
it off because some words I actually want to remember how to spell instead of clicking,
Mhm.
oh, there's the word, there's the word.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I actually really enjoy spelling. I used to like doing that when I was a kid, like in elementary school. I
me
used to like
too.
doing like the spelling bee stuff.
Me too.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, the thing about reading is that'll be a good thing to read because I like reading. I'd most likely be reading in my room, and then my sister would be like, "Who are you talking to?" Most likely is what would happen.
Oh yeah, by the way, did you guys check out my new song?
No, I did not. Um,
Yeah, I put it
The
out today.
first
Or
one
poem.
I couldn't. That's what I was gonna say. I read the
oh,
poem, but I couldn't get to the audio one. I kept having trouble downloading.
For the new one?
I didn't realize it. I read the new one. I know
I
that.
post the one I posted today.
Yes.
oh no, I didn't see that. I think it was one yesterday. Maybe I seen.
Yeah, because all of them should have audio. Toaster got it.
Okay. Yeah, I probably did something wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she got the audio for it.
Yeah, you never know. I might have not with this memory.
Yeah, I'm having issues with those drive links too, because it keeps switching back to where people have to accept it,
Yeah.
or like where I have to share it, and it's irritating the crap out of me.
I got another question for you. How's your memory?
I had a doctor's appointment today, and that was a fiasco. My wife did most of the work.
Lucky you.
Uh-huh. Yeah, my luckily my mom works at my doctor's office too. That's why I actually started going there in the first place. Because she's like the back office manager or whatever. Um, so my primary care, she works there.
Back to the post when it said, "What do you do when someone has a seizure?" It also asked them, "Do you guys know anybody, or have you experienced screaming out before a seizure?" And I have seen a video of Sailor Mom when she was on here. She showed us a video when she was standing there above the stove and she was like started screaming. She called it a anime horror ghost. She was like, "That's what I looked like." She's like, "I just looked up and bent back and started screaming." And when she showed us the video, her husband like just came in the room and grabbed her, and she was just like looking up and screaming. Then yeah, then she was cool. But
Wow.
also, she was playing the video for us. He ran downstairs and almost hurt himself trying to get to her because he thought it was happening again when she was just showing us the video. Yeah,
Wow.
got to get him a gift.
I've never had that happen to me. I've done like the air push where it's like, but I haven't done like a scream.
Oh yeah, she's done a full blown scream.
Wow.
Before you, Jeff, um, with me, I think I have sleep paralysis, so I'm still going through that process of talking to a neurologist. But there's times where I wake up and I can't move and I can't talk. And then it's like I'm trying to talk, I'm trying so hard to talk. And finally, when I get it out, it's a scream at the top of my lungs. I've done that to a significant other that I was in bed with. And she was like, "You wake me up all the time like this, and this is becoming a problem. Talk to your doctor," so on and so on. But so far, I haven't seen anybody for it, and that was 4 years ago. So there's that. Jeff?
Wow.
Yeah, Liz said I've screamed a couple of times before seizures. Other than, I mean, I don't know about it, but she's told me that I have.
You guys ever go back to your childhood and turn to a toddler?
Mm.
Yeah, one time I was like, I was just crying and whining and uh, like
Oh
pushing
my.
people away and stuff like that, acting real
Mhm.
immature. Yeah, it's like whining and
Yeah.
walk away when someone asks me to do stuff, like crying, and I hate to do it again, but it was more like a then pushing people away and walking away. I seen it on video. I seen the video because the camera in my room, and I was like, I love my mother. I was like, she handled that pretty good because I was acting like an asshole slash child. Um,
It's a seizure. Yeah,
yeah,
it's a seizure.
Well,
Sucks. I do what Josh does a lot. I get that air purge. It's like
mhm.
like all the air comes out of my lungs.
Yeah, like
And
where
yeah,
your ribs are almost just flexing all the air out of you.
and it hurts. You know,
Yeah,
if I'm still aware, it hurts, or afterwards,
yeah. The
that's the
morning
first
after,
thing.
I can't even breathe.
It feels like I got like either kicked in the ribs or the
Mhm.
corset was too tight. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I wish I would have gotten in a fight. It'd be a lot better excuse.
I just keep thinking I wish it wouldn't happen in front of my son because when he imitates it after, it there's no way I can get through that without laughing or crying. The
I
noise, he imitates the noise, the motion, and even after the fact, yeah. He
well,
stood
hey,
there.
at
He stood
least
there
you
the whole
know.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
that
honestly trust his reenactment more than anybody else.
right? It's like a real life video. It's bless his heart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
yeah. My son was he was around 9 when he tried to like show me what was happening during the seizure. And then once I asked him to show me after that, he thought it was hilarious. So he would do it all the time. Well, not all the time, but he would do it time to time. And and I'd be like, stop doing that because you're gonna do it in public and someone's gonna say something or you're gonna do it to the wrong person and they're gonna do something to you. And him and my daughter, they're now 14 and 15, and they find the how he did it hilarious. They look back on what they did when they were 5 years ago. He was like, "Remember this? It's hilarious." And yeah, oh shit. But yeah, kids are the worst at times and the best. And there was a post here that said, "What do you do when someone has a seizure?" This person had a 13-year-old student have a seizure and they didn't know what to do. Um,
Mm.
yeah,
Seizure first aid. Yeah. I'm working on it. I think seizure first aid should be taught in in physical education in gym, like it used to be. And I know in high school, well, middle school, we learned CPR back in the 70s.
we do
And I
too.
don't, yeah. So, but did we learn seizure first aid? Yes. So, and we were also told that seizure first aid helps when you're with somebody, just like we tell people, just treat me like I'm drunk and I'm throwing up, get me on the ground, whatever. We were told that it's helpful also with somebody who's intoxicated. So we were taught that in school, and I think it needs to be more of a requirement than an option. Um, but what do we do? Yeah, the first thing you do is get them to the ground. Um, yeah, we know the protocol, right? But we
Yeah,
need to get more people learning it. Yeah,
yeah, they do
yeah,
need to learn that more in schools because, yeah, my situation, I've said it a few times, but when I had a seizure,
yeah,
my first one at school, the teacher, she actually left the room and ran to the office to get the nurse instead of calling the nurse. Uh, I don't know exactly what happened the second time, but somebody who was there told me what happened the first time, and she left the room and ran to the office to go get the nurse instead of just coming and trying to help me. Uh,
yeah. It's a panic response, because you don't know what to do.
yeah, he told me it was
So,
the scariest thing he'd ever seen. He
mm,
said recently when I seen him, he was like, last time I seen you, you were like entangled with the desk and the chair. And the teacher left when you had a seizure and I was crying. And I was like, I'm so sorry I put you through that, because he was sitting next to me. And he was like, do you think it was the computer? And I was like, no, they didn't know what they were talking about. They're talking about it's because I was sitting in front of a computer. I'm sitting in front of a computer 13 to 14 hours a day now, and it's not doing anything at all.
Right.
It was just time for the seizures to poke their head out. Epilepsy was coming. It was just a matter of time. That was the time. Yeah, they thought it was the computers because it was in web design class, and then like it happened in that class, and then a few days later I went to the class again, it happened again. They were like, it definitely has to be the computers. It's the only thing it could be. That's what they jumped to.
I'd be like, okay,
epilepsy. Yeah, so.
Yeah, the only thing it could be, according to them. So, okay, in your limited scope of knowledge, okay, that's fine. We'll let you think that. But I'm going to the doctor and I know I have epilepsy, so yeah, no. I mean, how many
Thanks
of
for
us?
verifying the time of day it happened. Twice.
Exactly. It's like, yeah, I'm good, thanks. But it's like how many times I can't even tell you how many times I've heard it. It's like, oh, well, you need to come back to Jesus. Or, you know, it's a vitamin deficiency. This combination of supplements will help you. Try these herbs. The only one that I did try, well, I can't say that, but cannabis is my favorite. But I'm one of the first people that will say it does not cure it. I cannot use just cannabis for my seizures. And I know that some people can. I know I can't. So I'm not going to be ignorant and say, oh, this is a cure. And if it's not working, there's something wrong with me, which is what, you know, a lot of people will try to tell me. It's like, no, no, this is kind of a brain thing, you know? They don't say that to people with Alzheimer's. Oh, you're possessed. You know, I mean, seriously. Sorry.
One of the comments here for the what do you do when somebody has a seizure? One said I had two tonic-clonic seizures, both time apparently screamed right before seizure started. I was being told because all the air gets pushed out of your lungs really quickly, so therefore you scream. Another comment says some people scream, some don't. I know that crying is especially not out of the ordinary for functional non-epileptic seizures. How do you respond? One, move any object that the seizing person can hit on their way down. Two, put a towel or a soft object under the seizing person's head. Three, start a timer if the seizure lasts longer than 5 minutes or person's breathing is distressed, call 911. 4, do not pin down the seizing person or obstruct their mouth. 5, if they have a rescue medication, administer. 6, once the person wakes up, speak gently to them and help them orient. I have focal aware seizures, so I can tell people around me what I need. Recently, I had 2 people next to me who responded very differently. One tried to force into sitting upright and hugged me very tightly. The other one just asked what I needed. Depending on the seizure, depends on your response. If they can't communicate with you, like I am able to do during mine, just ask what they need. If not, go with some of the other recommendations. Yeah, came to the right place to ask that question. Deja vu and psychiatric symptoms. My tonic-clonic seizures have become more frequent recently. I'm a 24-year-old female neurologist, just started me on Keppra, in addition to zanisamide. I think it's just an aura because I frequently have seizures after, but I have been having the craziest deja vu and feelings of existence. Looks like
existential.
Existentialism. EXISTENTIALISM. TIALISM.
I think she meant like
Existentialism.
extension. Yeah, extensionalism.
Extensionalism.
Existentialism. That
Never
sound
heard
like
that
that.
word in my life. But I have been having the craziest deja vu and feelings of whatever you guys said that word was. Anyone else? It's very intense and overwhelming, more so than the post-episode confusion at times. The deja vu I do not get, but the person said they have auras. An aura is actually a seizure. So you're having seizures. They don't always turn into tonics, but it is a seizure. I don't have those deja vu psychiatric symptoms. Anyone else?
I get the deja vus beforehand, sometimes on my tonics. I'll get those really heavy. Sometimes I'll hear the specific kind of a chorus of a song, or I'll kind of go back in time a little bit, like deja vu wise. It almost feels like that. But a lot of the times it's this very specific chorus of this song that I get the deja vu aura.
So, Genki, I didn't hear you.
What song?
You guys probably wouldn't know it. It's actually called Alice by Pogo. It's where they took the old Alice in Wonderland movie and they took a bunch of cuts from the music and the dialogue and chopped it up and made a song out of it.
You're right, I don't know.
What?
Yeah,
You have a huge Alice fan here. Okay, since I was a child, I gotta find it by Pogo, right?
it is a very weird song.
Okay, I'll get it in a minute because I cannot get up right now. But
I'm not saying
yeah,
it's a good song. It's a
okay.
weird song. And the chorus on it, for some reason, like I can listen to it, but for some reason when I have like the aura feeling, I just hear that.
No kidding. Wow.
Yeah.
I've had some crazy focal clusters that turned
Mhm.
into like a psychiatric
Mhm.
episode. And I can kind of relate to that deja vu thing. And
Mhm.
I know sometimes like because for me it was only when it was severe.
Mhm.
But I developed what my doctor called is post or interictal psychosis, where I literally would lose touch with reality in between those focals. And having the deja vu or that impending doom on top of an altered mental state is so frightening that I freak out in between seizures. So they think
Mhm.
I'm having a psychotic break. And
Mhm.
it's like, finally, we got doctors here to agree that that was the case. And it's like, okay, this is not fake. Okay, this is real. She needs more than just, I needed more than just Vimpat. But yeah,
Yeah.
I experienced that several times. And they're like, oh, go to behavioral therapy, go to a psychiatrist. And a psychiatrist said you need a neurologist. I'm like, I already have that. Thank you for the fun. Like 6 appointments later.
Mhm.
But I'm a firm believer in therapy. Behavioral therapy helps, but it doesn't help when they're real seizures. It only helps when it helped me distinguish like a panic attack from a focal seizure
Mhm.
because they were telling me that I had psychogenic, I had PNES. And I'm like, okay, I could, but I also have epilepsy. But, that was an argument for far too long. So I'm like, okay, I'll do the therapy, no problem. And I got more out of it than I thought I ever would. But
Mhm.
it did help with that feeling of I'm not quite sure what's going on and having that tool to get centered again and say, okay, everything is fine, you know, but without it, yeah, I was really, really messed up. So I
Mhm.
wonder if that's what's happening, if it's kind of like focal clusters that are showing up as the deja vu kind of thing, you know?
Mhm. Mhm.
Sorry you guys can't see me, but I am beat. I'm beat.
To the comments here of the deja vu and stuff. Well, the first comment says, I read up on focal aware seizures. Mine are like deja vu mixed with intense fear, like the world is about to end, and I've gone through it before. Like I've jumped back in time, but I forgot what was coming. Another comment says, mine started as these partial focal seizures, is what it is called. Mine eventually turned into convulsing and falling to the floor, but I still got the deja vu feeling right before. So I know it's going to happen, mixed with water mouth. I take Keppra and gabapentin. Hope this helps. I hear a lot about gabapentin, but a lot of people say it's for diabetes as well, right?
Nerve pain.
Nerve pain. They gave my mother some of that stuff. She didn't exactly tell me why they gave it to her, but
There may be other uses, but it was primarily used for nerve pain.
Please take your medication as prescribed or whatever works for you. We're not doctors.